Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Beast Watch. Today we're going to be discussing last night's episode of Gotham, Season 1, Episode 12, entitled, What the Little Bird Told Him. First off in the episode, which happens early on, is we find out from last episode, the guy, Jack Gruber, his name was, he was an Arkham Asylum inmate. So early on we find out that his real name is actually Jack Buczynski, I don't know, I forget how to pronounce his name. Longtime fans of the Batman comics will recognize this to be the one, the only electrocutioner. So Gordon goes back to GCPD, he just shows up, the guy just shows up unannounced. First of all, no, you can't just walk back into the precinct when you're fired from your job, but he does. He just walks in unannounced, he faces the commissioner, and he's like, "You're gonna give me this job back or I'm not gonna catch this guy for you." There's like, how many other cops in this place? Gordon is the only guy. He's the only guy who can do it. He's the only guy, obviously, who can bring this guy down. So naturally, the commissioner's like, okay, you've got 24 hours to catch our man, or you and Bullock, which is Gordon's right-hand man, are going to be working in Arkham Asylum for the rest of your careers. So then all of a sudden the episode cuts to Falcone, Carmine Falcone, which if you're familiar with the Batman comics, he's a big figure. He's been in charge of Gotham's crime pretty much. He's the crime lord in all of the city right now. So it cuts to him all of a sudden, and he's still trying to take care of his woman, Liz, which everyone knows outside of the show is just a setup. She's a proxy. She's a plant made up by Fish, taking advantage of Falcone's love for his mother. So then we see Fish. She kidnaps her own spy, Liz, in order to hold Falcone ransom or blackmail him into giving her over the family business. So Falcone has to hang it up, or she's gonna kill her own proxy, which she was never really gonna kill her. The girl's in on this on the whole time. So it was going pretty well. I mean, I was following along well. I liked that they were just kind of bobbing between these two plot lines. And then just when I thought they were gonna wise up and stick to these two plot lines, what happens? Halfway into the episode, we get introduced back to the Penguin having dinner in Don Maroney's restaurant with Don Maroney and his crew. Now, at first, I'm a little bit annoyed. I'm like, here we go, another bloated episode of Gotham. They're just gonna spin my head all over the place trying to catch up on what's going on in this place. But it actually goes pretty well for a while. Gordon bursts into the restaurant with all of his men, and he makes a deal with Maroni. He says, "You're gonna help me catch the electrocutioner in turn for nothing," pretty much. Maroni wants to know why he's going to help him. Maroni says, Gordon says, well, you know, it's one annoyance off both of our backs, and then he's taken care of for good. So Penguin steps aside from this dinner all of a sudden when he receives a phone call from Falcone, of course. Falcone wants Penguin to help him out in finding his girl, Liz, who we know is Fish's proxy. Just as Penguin is about to leave the room, he goes and grabs the doorknob and is fried completely. And then we see somebody just kind of zombie walk onto the screen and roll this electric bomb down the restaurant's floor, and the whole place just gets fried. Penguin gets fried. The whole place explodes with electricity. And I was like, yes, here we go. Finally, we have somebody in this city who's a real threat. Somebody the cops are going to have trouble with. Somebody who's really threatening Gotham City. So the Penguin's kind of unconscious, and he just kind of blurts out something about Falcone, conveniently, as Maroni's right around, so he gets wind of Falcone's plans with the Penguin now all of a sudden. So we cut to Fish, and she receives a phone call from Falcone. Falcone pretty much says, "I know this was you. This is always you. How long I've known you, Fish. I know this was you." He's not that Italian. He is Italian. He doesn't really talk like that, but that's the way I look at him when I watch the show anyway. So Fish demands that Falcone's gonna leave Gotham. He's done. He's out. She's got him by the neck now. He's gonna leave Gotham, or she's gonna kill this girl, which he's not really going to do. Falcone actually considers this. He wants to do this. Everybody wants him gone. He thinks, why not just go? I mean, everybody wants me gone. I can just be happy and go live with my girl here in the country somewhere and be really like quaint or what have you. All of this makes sense. I love this. Everything's intertwining and weaving and coming back together full circle. Everything's kind of revolving around this situation with Maroni and Fish, and then you got the electrocutioner who everyone's kind of like blindsided by, but he's doing his damage along the way. So I'm loving this. I'm like, great, this is awesome. We have these three plot lines going along now. It's not too bloated. It doesn't feel too cramped. I like this. This is good. And then we see Barbara. wind up at some relative's house with no makeup on. She's upset. Nobody even cares about you, Barbara. We don't care about you, Barbara. That's the only time, by the way. That's the only time we see her in this whole episode. They just throw it in there to be like, don't forget that we're gonna shove Barbara down your throat. Now they're concentrating on Edward Nygma's weird infatuation with this GCPD officer. He loves her. He's giving her cupcakes with bullets in it. I don't know. Things just go off the rails here all of a sudden. I'm like, great, here we go. This is another off-the-rails episode. Things are losing focus. I'm getting really uninterested at this point. I forget all about the electrocutioner, which should have been the main focus yet again for these 2 episodes now. And then all of a sudden, we're back in GCPD. Everything goes dark. Electricity fills the room. The electrocutioner comes out. He says some kind of cool, like, I am going to fry you. And then a fight scene breaks out with electrocutioner's big. He's got this big, like, 9-foot bald-headed dude. He's huge. And Gordon beats the hell out of him, and it's awesome. It's a great fight scene. I love it. Things are breaking. Things are getting thrown around. Gordon's punching this guy in the face. This guy's body slamming Gordon over the other officer's desk. It's awesome. It's an awesome fight scene. The guy goes down. Gordon takes him out. I'm like, yes, go for the electrocutioner now, Gordon. This is awesome. This is redeeming this entire episode. And then Gordon picks up a cup of coffee and throws it on the electrocutioner's power source. End of fight. The electrocutioner's done. Because Gordon remembered he had a cup of coffee. Blah, blah, blah. Everybody loves Gordon again. He gets back. He's back, and then he's a detective first class again. Everybody just forgets about everything. There's some funny banter between him and Bullock. I like the relationship between Gordon and Bullock. They're funny together on screen. They have a good chemistry. I like the 2 actors. So that wraps up all that. That was okay. Whatever. I was expecting much more. I didn't get it. So cut to Falcone's place. Just as Falcone's feeling weak, he's done. He's out. He's ready to give Fish what she wants. Penguin comes in and divulges Fish's entire scheme, just totally blows her spot up. He tells her this girl's in on the whole thing. She is not who you think she is. Falcone is like, well, this isn't happening. A long story short, they meet up. It's guys just facing guys. Falcone surrounds Fish with all of her men. He locks up Fish. She's like, it's over. He's done. He all of a sudden goes back to his roots and just turns into this mean, cold dude. He winds up strangling this girl to death with his bare hands. Liz just is dead now. She's gone. She's out of it. She really didn't have much to do with this. He doesn't care. He kills her, and that's it. Fish gets locked up. Penguin gets just standing there, and he's like, Fish, look what I did. Remember me? It's stupid. I don't know. I don't even like it at this point. I don't know. And that wraps up that whole story. It kind of ends right there. And then at the very end, Leslie Tompkins pops up for no reason whatsoever while Gordon is taking a shower at the GCPD, of course, because it's sexy time. Things gotta get sexy here in Gotham City. She kisses him, of course. Everybody knows it's gonna happen. And then they're like, oh, should we be doing this? I don't know. I'm not sure. And then they kiss again, and then it gets real sloppy and gross. And that's pretty much the end of that. And then the cop walks in. And he's like, there's been a big shootout at Fish's place. We better go check it out. End of episode. So I don't know. Overall, I thought this could have been really, really good. The electrocutioner stuff was turning out to be really cool until you find out his weakness is coffee. That sucked. That was disappointing. I don't know why they're still throwing in these little glimpses of characters here and there. I understand they're just trying to pepper in so you don't forget about what's going on with everybody else. But I really would have just liked to see them focus on the situation between Fish and Falcone, and then Maroni and Penguin, and everything kind of tied up in a nice bow with the electrocutioner really raining down hell on everybody at the end. That's not what we got. It was close. They're kind of slowly nudging in the right direction of what I personally want to see, but we're not quite there yet. It is renewed for a second season, so hopefully they'll kind of get their beak wet with this first season and really get into the nitty-gritty. At this point, you guys, I gotta be honest with you, the only reason I'm still watching this show is number 1 for you, and number 2 because I just have this glimpse of a hope that we're gonna jump ahead and see Batman in one of these seasons. Probably not. It's a pipe dream, but I really would love that to happen. I don't know. I'm hoping the show really finds its footing and gets a little better. We'll see what happens, but What did you guys think of the episode? What do you feel could make this show a little bit better? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe to the Level Up Network to catch a new episode of Beast Watch right after all of your favorite shows. This week's a big one. We got The Flash coming back. We got Arrow coming back. Two of my very favorite shows, so make sure you guys subscribe and check those out. For the Level Up Network, I am the Beast NJ, and until next time, everybody, sit back, relax, and enjoy the shows.